Good morning.
Good morning.
How are we all today?
Happy Saturday. How is everybody today? I know how we are. We've been out here BSing for 2 hours, so we're fired up and pumped up.
And worn out.
And worn out. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, so that's the end of the show. Hey, goodbye. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
We're too busy. Allie was chasing her pet. She has a pet now.
Oh no! Don't.
Did you ever find it?
What it is. Don't mention that.
Okay.
Oh,
it's got 8 legs.
So
she's got
it has not got 8 legs. It's got 4.
Yeah, it's a spider.
It's not.
4.
Do not tell me that.
And a little tail.
Do not spiders.
Okay.
Okay.
She's got a dog in there someplace. There's a dog.
It's not a dog.
Not a dog.
Maybe people can guess what it is.
Guess what it is.
So, good morning and hello to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Trackside. This week we're talking about the community itself. What we're talking about is the channels, the Facebooks, all the way that we're staying communicated and connected, and what things you've learned, tips and stuff like that from all the different channels. How did you find out about it, that sort of stuff? Especially with the current showstopper hanging around.
Yeah, and feel free to tell us what they are if you like, and if you got a Facebook channel that you know that you go to, or a YouTube channel that you go to site, or I don't know. I was just thinking. I was thinking about this yesterday, and there's a Facebook page called Budget Model Railroading, and they are really good. If anybody has never checked them out, they're very helpful, very welcoming to new people. No dumb questions. And I was just thinking that we do have a really good community for helping people. And I thought that'd be a good subject to kind of just thank the community and, point people in directions if you got a really cool site that nobody really knows about, or, let us know, because I think everybody would like to know that.
It's an interesting subject because I discovered another channel the other day. Let's see if I can try and find it again. And this is another female model railroader that I didn't know existed. She's right into weathering. Come on, YouTube, load for me, please. And I learned a lot of little interesting hints and tips from this channel. Let's see if I can find it. Someone else talk while I'm looking for this.
Well, while you're looking for that, my son actually had seen some videos. He's on YouTube all the time, and had seen some videos of model railroads and knew I liked it, so he sent me some. And I saw those, and from there I saw Ron Marsh's channel. I guess he was probably the first one that I actually sat and listened to him talk. I was impressed with the way he edited and stuff like that,
It's funny you said that, because I think Ron was the first one I ever saw.
Yeah, I was impressed with the fact that he edited out of all the uhs and ums and and stuff like that. That he went to that much trouble to do it. So it was fun to kind of watch that. And he's got a really cool layout. Even though I'm not an N-scaler, but it was a lot of fun to watch. And then from there, I saw Steve Brown, and I just really liked Steve's personality, and was watching him and stuff that he was doing, and watched him move his whole layout to another house and all that good stuff. But and from there, it just grew. And of course, you start seeing people in chat and checking out their channels and that sort of thing. And then had some people ask me, you said, well, what are you, have you got one for your layout? And I said, no, I don't have one, but I ended up making one for it, just so somebody can see what I was doing. I know a lot of guys do the videos and stuff, you know, for the monetization, but for me, it's just a matter of just showing what I'm doing. And if they want to watch, they can watch. Have a lot of fun on it. Steve and I talk all the time.
Well, and
you know, on it, and
oh yeah, and we've developed a wonderful friendship.
Yeah, it's been great.
I feel like I know you very well, and I never met you.
Other than on here.
Yeah.
And it's like Jason, Train Freak, got a hold of me last week and said there was a train show about an hour and 45 minutes east of me, and wanted to know if I was going. I didn't even know about it. And I said, well, are you going? If you're going, I'll be there. And he said he was going. So we're going to meet up next Saturday. We'll actually be over there, hopefully, unless something happens in the meantime. But I'll try and get some pictures and stuff from there we can show on here. But yeah, the community's been great. You know, there's tons of good information out there. There's some of the videos I watch, I never miss, or try to never miss. I don't see everybody's, and I don't see all of everybody's, except for one or two of them that I can think of. Just because I like what they're doing, and I just always want to see what they're doing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun in the community. I wish I had more time to just.
It's hard to keep up on all the videos.
But if you did that, then you wouldn't have time to do anything else.
It's hard to keep up on them all.
Yeah, it is. It is. In fact, I had to go back through and start dropping notifications because my phone would just light up, and I couldn't even talk on the phone for all the notifications coming through all the time. So, because I'm subscribed to 3 or 4 people, I'm sure.
But then you'll get one pop up on YouTube, and it's like, oh yeah, like I think one of them I found yesterday, Little River Railroad. Just found that yesterday, and that's really fun. I mean, that guy does some really good track work, super elevated curves. He's got a coal mine on the second level. He was backing up I don't know, he probably had like 40 cars with 2 DPUs, and he's backing it up a 2% grade to his coal mine. And he does spline sub road beds. So you got his train backing up on, and there's nothing on either side of that. I'd been scared to death to back a train up on that because he's got Fox Valley and Cato's in there, and it's like if those go off, that's not going to be a good thing. But I checked that one out. I think a lot of you guys already know about that one. I think I'm probably the last one to find him, but that's a good one.
I found the channel that I was mentioning earlier. It's called The Weathering Woman, and I believe her name is Charlotte. So definitely worth looking at that one if you're into looking at all the secret little hints and tips on weathering. Just going back to the comments here, the Train Freak says, IMRRO.com was one of the first I followed. There is one here from Steve87 PSAP. He says that Steve Brown was the one that got him started. Let's see.
Me too.
Nathan DeLay says YouTube, me, and greats are a good way to get to know the person very well. Jerry Satz is right there. It's almost impossible to keep up with all the channels. 100% agree there.
Yep.
And Steve87 PSAP again says, Uncle Wilmer did a really good job exposing the channels. And with his not bad, I think is really good because he does all those shout outs about everyone's channels.
Yeah, he goes and checks them out and gives you a little peek of what they look like and stuff like that. And Wilmer does a super fantastic job of that.
Yeah, I found quite a few from watching him.
Yeah.
Good old Uncle Wilmer.
And he's done a shout out on, I think it was you, Steve. I think he's done a shout out on this channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did one for me. So
yeah, did for Claude.
Yeah, another fun channel to watch is I think it's Model Railroading Live. Now I don't usually see a lot of their stuff, but I try to watch some of Big Bill's. Who's Big Bill talking to? And he had me on the show, but he does a really good interview too. He takes the time to set the interviews up and that sort of thing. But if you haven't seen one of his, that's a good way to get to know some of the guys that have channels, because that's who he talks to, and he asks the right questions, and you get a lot of information that you wouldn't get just going to watch their layouts or their channel. But him and Wilmer, I think, do a fantastic job of the saturating the community with information on other channels.
I agree with you, John Grappa Rails. He does a really good job too. John's good. Jason says most of his shout outs come from mail calls. He must have a lot of mail calls, Jason.
Yeah, it's mail calls is almost like getting the stuff for yourself, isn't it? When you're watching somebody open stuff, live vicariously through somebody else.
It was funny how I got into it, because I got into it when I met Shannon through Facebook. On Facebook, he had a Facebook page, and I asked him to look at a couple of models for me, and he said, "Oh, by the way, we're starting this channel. Every Saturday we do this show called Back on Track." I said, "All right, I'll watch a couple of episodes." And then he decided, "You should come on. I'm trying to get more Australians involved." So, yeah, I came on, did an interview, and then they invited me to stick around. So that's how I found out about this community. And I've learnt a lot from you guys. I really have. And I hope you guys learnt a thing or two as well.
Yep.
I learned a ton.
How to speak Aussie.
Oh, yeah, because if I can understand Shannon, I can understand anybody. Lee, you were a piece of cake last week.
Doug Dilly says, do a search for Stephen Bennett, Rob, on YouTube. He has an incredible channel.
That he does. I've seen his channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And I think a lot of people agree with it.
Yeah, and Fred Wild said guys like Roy in Panama. Yeah, he does a good job with his videos.
Roy's a good one.
He has a couple of different videos during the week that he does that I like.
And he does shout outs too.
Must be.
Yes, he does.
Oh, sure. He must be lonely being the only one model railroading the Panama.
Well, it's kind of like here. I mean, I don't know anybody else personally that models in town, but I know there probably are some, because there's a couple of train clubs. They're both on the other side of town.
Just
so
to know that there's nobody in the whole. Yeah, but there's nobody in the whole country, but yeah.
Well, as far as he knows, I mean, that's one of those things you wouldn't know unless you really got to searching around for it. But I mean, he could be the only one there. There's, it's a big hobby, but it's not like every other person does it. So
yeah.
But yeah, even here in Tulsa, and like I say, there's got to be at least a few dozen guys that model. I know there are. But
the devil.
So.
Speaking the devil, and he shall appear. N-Scale Union Pacific Evanston Subdivision says, "Good morning, guys. Good to see you."
Good morning, Roy.
Was almost on
we were just talking about you. Roy from Panama. How are you this fine morning? Wow. Good morning.
And the Train Freak says, if you hold subscriber contests from time to time, some of the live streams, such as Sparky and Vinny, helps get that out, which helps pick up new subs too. So there's an interesting little cherry there for you. Nathan DeLay says the first YouTube meet and greet was at Steamtown, was from Sparky, and that was the first YouTube meet and greet that I went to. And that's a really interesting little thing too, that once you meet everyone on YouTube, you can go and meet people in real life, the ones that you really get along well with, provided that there's no showstoppers around at the time.
Yeah, that kind of put a damper on that for a while.
Shannon, yeah. I'll ask where Shannon is. He's still around. He may pop in this morning because we talked to him last night. Claude and I did a little build on the bench build. Go to Claude's channel and watch what we did yesterday. We did a 2-hour build, and Shannon popped in. So he's busy with his third child, and he's working his tail off at Train World. So he's still around, but he's just been busier than a one-legged guy at a butt kicking contest.
That's one way of putting it, Steve. And
yeah,
things that attract people to your channel, one of the greatest ideas I've seen so far is the competitions, the challenges that people have come up with. There's all sorts of challenges now. Heath has compiled an awesome list of all the challenges. Even me today, I went through and tried to do as many of the challenges as I could. So watch this space for a video on that later on down the track, or back on track. See what I did there?
the challenge is keeping up with all the challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all kind of running together now.
Roy S. in Panama saying, I'm still looking forward to the day when we can finally get together in Strasbourg. I think a lot of people are, including Sparky himself. It's really unfortunate that things like this showstopper have stopped us from doing that. But the advantage is we have this fantastic online community that we can still communicate and create friendships through.
Yeah, and there's old Roy Hardwick, Container Man 68. Good morning, Roy. Where are you this
Hello,
morning?
Roy. And that's an interesting fact as well that Fred Wiles brought up, is that the challenges have helped him find even new channels, which is interesting. Because, I've learned a lot more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more channels out there than I thought there was, especially some bigger ones that I didn't even know were around because of the challenges.
Yeah. There are way more channels than I could ever watch. I'm subscribed to more than I could ever watch constantly anyway, or continuously. So I find I try to peruse them. I watch at least three or four of each one of the videos, and there's some that I just gravitate back to because of one thing or another. Usually the content, what they're actually doing on their channel, but that's all a personal thing too. There's some channels I watch for the person that's doing it because I like their personality or whatever, and then there's some that are doing what they're showing you, or I guess just showing you. I'll watch it for that. So it just depends. Everybody's a little bit different in what you're looking for and that sort of thing. And then of course you only have so much time that you can devote to that. But as a whole, the community is just fabulous. I found some of that in the RC airplane community, but not nearly as tight as the model railroad community. The RC airplane guys were a little more about themselves. That was always the joke about, people would come to the field and stuff, and they say, can we, go ask so-and-so about his airplane? I said, yeah, I just expect to be there for an hour. So, and model railroaders can be like that too, but I think we're more about talking back and forth than airplane guys are.
I think we're a little bit,
both worlds now. Say again, Steve?
Almar brings up a good point that the live streams are a good way to meet each other. Almar mentions that. We've never met, but we kind of get to know each other through the live streams.
Yeah. Yeah, and I, for one, like to see the live streams live. I rarely go back and watch one unless there's something on there that I know is going to be on the show that I really wanted to see, which is not a big, an often occurrence, let's put it that way. But then I'll watch it. Then I'll watch a replay of it. I like being able to interact in the chat. You can't really do that if you're watching a replay. Where you can't do that if you're watching a replay. So I rarely will go and watch a live stream that's recorded. It's almost always live if I'm going to be there. And I try to make them, but there again, I also have to make time for family and that sort of thing. So
yeah, because a lot of them
is what it is. Yeah, most live streams are in the evenings during the week, and that's just a horrible time for me. So to be on the computer. So I don't. That's why you don't see me around the evenings on the weekdays. At least not very much. Now, if the wife's out doing something, then I might sneak off and get on the computer and watch some of them. But most of the time, you won't find them there.
Steve 87th PSAP says, "Me too, Claude. Like the live streams live because you have to read the chat during the replay." And there's an interesting comment here from Roy Eltham. He says, "We have the Roy trifecta complete." Because we have Roy S. in Panama, we have Roy H. Container Man, and we now have Roy Eltham. Welcome to Roy.
Today.
Roy Day.
That could be dangerous. Doesn't the world stop and start going the other direction when that happens?
Yeah.
It's almost like when we have all the Johns on.
Does anybody have
7 or 8 of those?
Do people have their go-to channel? I mean, if they have their favorite one to watch, if they're going to pick one and watch it, what would it be?
Now that's an interesting question.
One.
That's an easy one for me. Mine is Nearly Historical Railroad. Don and Don Jr. Don Jr. does the videoing and stuff on it. And from the first one I watched, I think I caught I didn't catch his very first one. I caught about the third or fourth one. And I was laughing so hard by the time he got done with the video that I went back and watched the first 3. And he made me laugh in almost every one of his videos. He does a really good job with his video. That's, I think, one of the things he likes doing besides model railroading, and they've got a really nice layout, which has narrow gauge on it. So that's another interest on it. But Don just does a really good job with his videos, and very, very informative, very entertaining, and just a lot of fun to watch. So that's the one I never missed.
Almar says his is Steve Brown. Roy Eltham is Roy in Panama. Dwayne is Crossed Anchors. Crazy Joe is yours, Lee.
Wrong one.
I was curious, who's everybody's favorite, if you could just pick one. Steve Anderson, yours is DJ's Trains.
For me, I have quite a few favorites, but the ones I like are the ones that are really entertaining. And one of the ones I have to pick would be Eminem Shortline or Mark. And just because he's funny, he makes me laugh, like eating ballast. I was a bit, oh my God, are you serious? Eating ballast?
Well, that's what I was talking about. That's what makes it a don't miss. If they entertain you, besides showing you model trains and stuff like that and what they're doing, if they can entertain you too, that's what brings me back, because I like to laugh. And if they make me laugh, then I'll be back and watch. And it's not like
Jerry,
Don over Historical Nearly Historical is the only one that I watch all the time. but if I had to pick one, he'd be the one I'd go watch.
Yeah,
But
Jerry Satz, you like Highball and Hog?
One of them.
I'm sorry, I'm talking over you.
Go ahead.
No, Jerry Satz is Highball and Hogger, and Jason, you're the steam fan lover.
Oops, wrong one.
Doug Dilly, Steve Brown's IMRR channel. Yep. Yeah, I think we also, I don't know, I started with Steve too. He was one of the first. I think he was probably the first one, even over Ron Marsh.
Yeah, Ron was the first one that I saw, and then found Steve after that. And I really liked the reason Steve started his channel. Well, the reason he started his channel was because he wanted something for the everyday modeler, not the guys that are doing competition stuff. So I was. Well, that was a good way of doing it. And so and I still see some of Steve's stuff. He doesn't do as much as he used to, but I still see some of his stuff, and I like his videos. He's also good at the production end of it. So I think those are probably the easiest ones to watch, the guys that are good at production. My channel, I don't even try to do good production. I try to do a little bit with editing on
I'd have to give Steve
like that. Say again?
I was putting out, you were talking about Steve, and I'd have to give Steve credit for really getting me jump started. Because he had me on once, and that's kind of what launched me into doing whatever mess I do. So I'd have to really give Steve a shout out for me, because he was probably the go-to to get me into this mess.
Yeah, well,
and
go ahead.
Listen, train the STS crew together. Laughter will happen.
Yeah.
Barn Full of Trains says he would have to pick Uncle Wilma. Shameless plug from Lee. He says he does a live show on Sunday, so check out his channel. New Fenris says agrees with you, Steve. It's Steve Brown was what got him into the community and kept him in the community. Ooh, I've gone too far. I'm trying to go through the comments here. Now, Roy, Container Man Roy, he says it would be nice to see some videos from Steve Arnold. I don't think you're keeping a close eye on his channel, because I've seen plenty of videos from Steve Arnold recently. He's done updates on his
way
layout.
Too many. I've had a lot of time out here.
Roy says Mike Pfeiffer got him started way back then.
Mike Pfeiffer, yeah.
And, yeah, Mike does a nice job too with his videos. I like his little layout he's got. He's got a nice layout.
Yeah, Steve 87th PSAP says he likes DJs because he gives information and shows things about the railroad. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that to you, Steve, from our talk earlier before the show. Steve was showing me some pictures of where he used to work on the railroad, and that was pretty interesting. So Steve could do something like that too.
I'm trying to model that.
Do what?
Do what? Say that again. I could do what?
You could do something like DJ. Yeah, like DJ does, because you've worked on the railroad and you've got that information, that firsthand information, and you've got the pictures and stuff to show.
Railroad.
You were both talking.
More about Santa Fe.
Say that again.
Sorry, Steve. I just said I would love to learn more about the Santa Fe Railroad, and you'd have that information.
I could answer any question you want to know, probably.
Well,
so you were saying
you could
start a Santa Fe channel?
Why not? There's a lot of people actually here that are saying Steve Brown is what got them into it. Even Fred Wild says he started with Steve Brown.
I think I met the most people in the community from Steve's show, because I would I'd see a new one that I didn't know of, and I would sub to their, when you could click on their name and join their channel. And that's the way I got subbed to most of the people that I'm subscribed to. But so I would credit Steve's show with getting me more involved in the community. But Ron Marsh was the first one that got me to Steve. So, you know, I have to give him credit for getting me in. But it's kind of like coming on here and watching you guys start this channel. And then Steve invited me on, you know, one day, and I came on one day, and then asked me if I want to stay with the show. And so now here I am, and I don't miss it.
Oh, yeah, you just... Well, you clicked. Your personality was perfect. I mean, we just kind of clicked right from the beginning. So, oh yeah.
Well, it's like Steve and I found out we're so much alike in stuff that we've gone through and all that stuff. Yeah.
A lot of
Jerry said he started with Ron Marsh as well and found everyone from there like Sparky and Steve Brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sparky. Yeah, Sparky's another one. I don't know how I forgot Sparky. But Sparky does a great job too with his live shows and stuff, and you know, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, Al, you said you missed Steve's Saturday show. Yeah, we kind of filled that gap. That's kind of where the show morphed from. Can't even talk.
Yeah.
Doug Dilly says, Steve, bridge series was really cool. So your bridge series inspires a bit out of Doug Dilly, or Dilly. I think it's Dilly. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Doug.
That was a challenge.
Here's another one. Steve A7th PSAP says, what's neat this week has been a really good go-to show. He says they really have great content and bring so many people in. I think it's an interesting show, that one. I have seen a couple of their episodes, and, you know, there's little products out there you didn't even know it existed until they showed it, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, he's really good with the video production also. That's his main thing. Of course, he takes photos and stuff for some of the magazines and that sort of thing. But yeah, he's got a good show. I don't always catch his shows, but the ones I've seen, I've liked.
Bang got you Junction Carl Brown.
Right, Steve Brown.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
Oh, it's okay. I'll just shut up.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep talking.
Yeah, Roy says Steve Brown's.
Steve?
We lost him. He muted himself.
Yeah, Roy. Okay. Roy says Steve Brown's. Can I mute Allison? Is that possible?
Sorry.
God, you're as bad as Shannon. Holy moly. Now I forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, I was going to say that Roy Smith says that Steve Brown's live chats and videos were tons of fun, and I agree. And he did what was it? What club was it? Sunday with Cindy that he did?
Sunday evenings, yeah, and I didn't get to see very many of them, but the ones I saw were really fun.
Yeah, those were fun. They played games and stuff. That was cool. Kind of missed those. Okay, you can talk now, Allison.
Sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to keep talking over you. I'm trying to just keep up with the comments, and they're flying through today.
Oh, I know. We got 30 people in chat too.
Yeah, it's
wow.
I'm struggling. He says what got him started was the model man Mike, who I believe started YouTube Model Builders, and it went from there. Interesting. Let's see.
Yeah, because there's been some people out there that have been doing this for
Allison.
Sorry, Steve.
How about if I want to talk, I'll do this. That means you have to shut up.
Okay.
Be careful, she'll take you to the vet and have you scanned for a chip.
30.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. But no, it's amazing how many people have been doing this for years and years that I didn't know. Of course, I wasn't doing trains years and years ago, so I wasn't looking for them. But you know, when I first put stuff on YouTube, it was very short videos of some flying events that I'd been to, and I just put them up and didn't narrate them or anything. Just put the video up, show the airplanes flying around. That was pretty much all I'd put up. Until I got into the train community, the model train community, and it's, you know, I'm just flabbergasted by the number of people that actually do this. That we do these live shows like this every week, or you know, every month, or whatever it might be. And it's amazing the following. You get the same people every week back, which is great, because that's what makes it tighter knit, I think. And I know everybody's willing to help everybody out if they've got a problem or that kind of stuff, and it just makes
well,
and
I think too, you know, some people kind of gravitate to different live streams. I think it's not that anybody's, you know, not watching them, but I think, you know, some live streams are go-to for certain individuals. I think, would that be correct?
Yeah, and I find the ones that seem to me like they're doing it for the fun of it are the better ones to watch. You know, like I'm not monetized, and I don't plan on being monetized. That's not why I'm doing it. I wouldn't even my Teespring stuff that I put on my deal. I knocked it down to where it's I make like a quarter per item on whatever item it is, because I don't expect people to come buy my stuff, but it's there if they want it. I did this Teespring store for myself so I could buy my, you know, have my shirts made and that sort of thing. You know, so it's those are the ones I tend to gravitate to more. And even if they are monetized, the ones that don't make it seem like that's the only reason they're there are the ones that I go watch. And for me, it's pretty easy to see them, but you know, that's me. And they may or may not be monetized. I don't go in and check that, but you know, like I have any way of doing that. But sometimes you can just tell, and it's, you know, and it
takes away from the show if it's monetized.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think the better channels for me are the ones that are just having fun, wanting to show you something and having fun. So anyway.
Well, that's all what it's about anyway. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong.
Oh yeah. If I'm not having fun, I don't want to be there. You know, because then it's work, and I get enough of that without having to do it in my spare time.
Well, speaking of Teesprings and all that sort of stuff, people might have noticed I've been drinking from a Back on Track mug. I still also have my Back on Track pillow. If you guys want a Back on Track t-shirt, Back on Track mug, Back on Track pillow, Back on Track hat, if you want any of that stuff, don't forget to check the link in the description down below. Don't forget to also like and subscribe. And if you love this show, tell us in the comments. If you hate this show, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. Also, don't forget to topic.
No, if you hate...
Sorry?
If you hate the show, we'll know it. If you hate the show, we'll know it, because you'll leave. I've got my wonderful Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction shirt and cup. I'm a trader.
Steven.
Oh, I've got it. I've got one. I broke it, remember?
Yeah, he broke it. He needs another one.
I need another one. I like the break, though.
Oh, and Roy brings up another good channel that I never... This is one that I never miss, is Toyman Television with Dale and his wife, Karen. They're just fun to watch. I've always enjoyed them, and He does. He was in movie, I want to say sound production. That's what he did for a living years ago. And so he brings that to his channel. He does a really good job. If you haven't seen him, I suggest you go.
So you don't like the bell, Al?
Say again?
Al
No.
says I should forget the bell.
No, I think it's because I forgot the bell. Don't forget to hit the bell so you can that one.
Oh, there you go.
So you
okay. Now I get it.
So you can make sure you don't miss things.
Oh, okay. I'll have to do that every time you say that. I'll bring the bell out. Hit the bell icon.
Hit the bell icon. That's what I forgot. Thank you, Almar.
Actually, I think I've got a better one. Hang on. I think it's over here. Hang on a second. I think.
Hey, there's Wilmer.
I've got a really good bell.
Hey.
Good morning, Wilmer.
Hey, Wilmer.
And he says he's a big fan of having fun. You can tell when he starts pointing out some of the shows that when he says they're not bad, he really means it. He's really having fun.
They are definitely not bad. I'm looking for my.
Oh, and I liked your build. Hey, Wilmer, I liked your build on your little stone building that you did. That came out really nice. Really like to see that. I've got some of those. I've got to build some of those plaster cast stone buildings. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't been over to Wilmer's channel lately, go catch his last couple of videos. He's building that stone building. It looks really nice.
You want the train horn? Oh, I've got a horn in here. I'd probably wake everybody in the house up. Uh-oh. You asked for the horn?
Worth it.
Oh, you should. You be careful what you ask for.
You're not going to blow a horn. Is that a train horn?
Could be.
That'd knock down all the trees on your layout if you blow a diesel horn in there.
Oh, I've got one. I can't get to it.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
I'm
waiting for the crash.
No, he's just cleaned up.
Are you waiting for the? I forgot where the horn is.
That's what happens when you clean up in there. You can't find anything.
Yeah, you put everything away. Now you can't find it.
Lee River Subdivision says only button is. Or community where knowledge is shared so freely. That's what's great about it. And I think it is great because we can get onto live streams and someone says, I have a problem with ABC. They can sit there and
I can't do it. Can't do it any louder than that. I'll wake the family up.
You right, Steve?
I'm fine. I was finding my train horn.
He's never been all right, Allison.
Oh gosh.
Not since I've known him anyway.
Nope. What you see is what you get.
Oh.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
Oh. Roy's got a bit. Oh, you got a video of Echo Canyon with snow all over. I want to see that.
Where's that comment? I can't find that comment. Oh, there it is.
It's container man.
I was looking for the comment. And
no, actually, Al, it's a Yugo horn. No, actually, it's a Cadillac horn. It's a two trumpet Cadillac horn. It's really loud, but if I blow it here, I'll be deaf and I'll wake up my wife and sister-in-law in the house. So I don't want to do that. I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Don't do that. Like
don't
stirring
want to do that. Oh no! Don't shake the nest.
Don't rattle the cage, yeah. Roy says, Roy from Panama says, chats like this and other people's videos inspire
Live chats
me, remind me to get busy on my own way out. Yeah, that too. I'll see somebody do something. I go, ooh, I want to do that. And I'll go up to the train room and end up being up there 2 or 3 hours. But
and not make any videos.
Yeah, and forget to make a video of it. Yeah,
exactly. 100% agree. I see some of these hilarious videos out there, and not just train channels. Like I watch a couple of other channels where they've got a bit of comedy and stuff like that, and entertaining their audience. So I try to incorporate that into my videos, but I think some of the jokes may just go over some people's heads.
Boy, there's a lot in chat this morning. Holy crap. Can't keep up with
it. We've had up to 33 at one stage, and this show's flying by. We've already been through 48 minutes of the show, so we're on the homeward stretch already.
Dang.
Well, the show that actually helped me do the most on my layout was the trackside beans that we started doing. Last summer when we first got holed up in our houses and couldn't do anything. Shannon got on and we started doing that, and Steve said, let's call it trackside beans, and it's kind of history from there, but we'd be on for 4 or 5 hours, and I got more work done doing that and just shooting the breeze while we're working than I do when I'm by myself up there.
Yeah.
So
last night when we did our 2 hours, that 2 hours went by like nothing. Like,
oh yeah. Well, you built that
2 hours
that
done.
engine. Yeah, you built that engine house in that time period.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'd recommend Rick's products. That worked out really good. I'll have to show you that on an update.
Oh, the train freak says he misses trackside beans. We do need to get that back on.
We're going to possibly about Thursday. I think Claude said he's free. I may be free. So
at the time,
possibly
at this point, I'm free Thursday. That could change though.
And
but
at this point,
I'll be free Thursday.
Hey, welcome, Illinois Country Boy. I haven't seen that. You're at work now, listening in. Cool.
So there's no excuse. He's at work and still listening. What are you rest of you been doing?
Really?
I'll just double check. I'm pretty sure I'm free Thursday. That's the 25th, right? Oh, that's payday. Yep, I'm free.
You're free.
I'm free. I've got to service my car this week, so I've got busy things going on. Here we go. From
Roy Hardwick says, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were going to say, Steve? I was waiting for it.
No, Roy Hardwick, he's always working because he's driving and listening.
Yeah, Carolina Foothills Railroad, D Knight. All these challenges have caused me to cut a hole in the wall, go into a closet so I can do continuous running. Yeah, that can be a hazard is watching these shows too sometimes, because it'll make you do stuff you wouldn't have done normally. Roy's in Kansas right now.
I do a lot of shoveling, but it's not snow.
Yeah, at least I have snow on the ground here, but it's melting rapidly. And today I would imagine a lot of it will be gone. Finally. I didn't mind snow when I was skiing, could still go skiing, but I can't do that anymore. So I don't care to see the snow.
Yeah, Wilmer, our trackside bean live streams, that tries to stay on topic, but that kind of wanders.
But I think that's the fun. Sorry, Steve, I've talked over you again.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
No bad.
I forget what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
I love giving you a hard time. That's fun.
Roy says you don't have any snow in Panama ever, or never.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a little far south.
Yeah, but you got something. Yeah, but you got something that nobody else does. I never heard of having to treat your layout for termites. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
I know someone.
That's like, wow.
I know someone over here who had that problem, and he had a lot of kits that he made out of wood, and they all got eaten by the termites. He's still cleaning. That was years ago, and he's still cleaning out bits of wood where the termites have just torn it apart.
You know what? I'm going to blame the delay. I'm going to say that the problem, Ellison, is you're so far away. You're on the other side of the planet that it takes that long for you to hear me that you talk over me. See, I think that's it. It's the distance, right?
Do you think that's the problem?
Is that? I think that's the problem.
Well, I haven't talked over Claude yet.
It could be. Oh, yeah, see? I told you it's not the problem.
Oh, okay. So it's just me. I see. Okay, I see.
Who knows? I might be doing it deliberately, Steve.
I think you are. I'm gonna blame your little friend.
No,
nobody
friend.
Nobody guessed what your little friend is.
4 legs and a tail. I haven't seen him since. Or her.
Mr. Jangles? Mr. Jangles?
Jangles.
Mr. Jangles?
You've already named it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Allison has a Mr. Jangles.
Mr. Jangles.
I think we have deteriorated into the abyss.
No, it's not a cat. It's not a cat, Bill.
No, not a cat.
Wilma says we do an awesome job. We all get sidetracked for a few minutes, but most of the part we stay on track.
Roy wants to know if it's a rat.
Get back on tap. Close.
I don't think it's a rat. It's too small.
Moderators need to get us back on topic. It's not a spider either.
Oh, spiders. Oh, yuck.
Well, spiders don't have tails anyway.
Good point. No, it's not a cat.
4 legs.
Steve 87th PSAP. I got a mouse, but not by choice.
Bingo.
I got one, but not by choice. I think it's a little field mouse. I don't know where it came from. I've heard it running around in the roof, but he's gotten a bit more brazen of late, and he popped out from underneath my couch earlier. So I'm trying to put around a bit of.
He saw you with those ears on, and you scared him to death.
Oh, you're right, Jason. Railroad community back on track. We need to get back on track. The railroad community, not the mouse.
Yes, true. Not the mouse.
Not the mouse.
So yeah, what's been the biggest influence on your video wise, model train video wise? What's been the biggest influence for you on your layout?
Yeah, for me, it's the community. Period. That's been my biggest influence.
Yeah, I think. I kind of agree with that. It's. I don't know that I have just one. I think it was the combination that got me back into the hobby and enjoying the hobby in more ways than just building a layout. For me, so it's been a great experience. I've loved the last couple of years, 2.5 years, however long it's been that I've been back into it. I couldn't point to just one. I mean, I have favorite channels, like I mentioned earlier, but they're not really as far as influencing my build on my layout as much as just entertainment for me. I think it is the combination of all of it that's been the biggest influence.
Well,
Actually,
Chad is still talking about the mouse.
Oh, someone suggested here, it was New Fenris. He says, use a little chocolate on a track. Now, why would you waste perfectly good chocolate?
No, you can use peanut butter. Peanut butter works. Peanut butter.
I agree with Roy. The community and sharing of the hobby is the best part of model railroading. I agree.
Yep. Yeah, I think that is. I think it's the rest of it is something to do with your, your hands and your time, if that's what you want to do, which it is. That's part of it for me. But my wife will tell you this. I'm kind of a people person. I like interaction with people and having fun at doing it. If I'm not having fun at doing it, then I'm not going to be there. So, but yeah,
that's a good philosophy.
We were saying that before, weren't we? That it's got to be fun.
Yeah, I think so. For me, it does. It has to be fun for me, or I'm not going to do it. Not something that's an extra deal. I have enough work, and I enjoy what I do work-wise, and I have good customers, and I get to know my customers pretty well. But that's still work. That's still something I'm obligated pretty much in one aspect or another to have to go do. I'm not obligated to go up in the train room. I do that because I want to do it. So that's the big difference there. And it has to be that way for me, with watching videos of model trains or anything else I watch on YouTube or on TV or anything else. I'm not going to do it because I have some feeling of obligation that I have to do it. That's a turnoff for me. That's why I'll watch more channels more than others, and not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons.
Well, I think people, I mean, Roy can probably contest to this, is making a weekly video. That's quite a production, and turns into a job, because you have to get it out every week or twice a week or whatever. And that I would think that would tend to take the fun out of it too.
Yeah, I tried to stay up with.
I mean, unless you really enjoy the production of it.
Yeah, I tried to stay up with a once a month video, update on my layout. And even with that, what I found was that if I had a lot of work and I wasn't up in the train room doing a lot, I had no content to show on an update. And so I felt pressure to do something on the layout just so I could get an update out, which starts to ruin the whole experience for me. So I've quit trying to do necessarily every month. I mean, I will do one every month if I've got the content and I've got enough done on the layout to show some progress. But I don't want to go up and rehash the same thing all the time. So doing the couple of live streams that I did here lately were just because I was building some buildings that I want to put on the layout for an update. But I could also be in the community too at the same time.
That kind of reminded me of a channel, and I think I've got his name is Corey. And I think it's Union Pacific Cajon subdivision. I watched him and really enjoyed it, and he disappeared. And I was like, what happened? And he's starting to do updates again, and he's still around. And I enjoyed watching his because he's got a lot of good suggestions on detailing. And again, you're still around, but life comes first. And I think he had things going on, and now he's back. And so I would suggest check him out because he's got a really cool layout. Not very big, but it's really cool.
Yeah, Roy's daughter talking about model railroads. She do like to talk a lot. Yeah, well, and it goes for anybody that's in a hobby because they enjoy that hobby. they want to share it with other people. And I find that doing a live, back to what I was talking about a second ago, I find doing a live stream for me is a lot less work than doing an update. Because if I do an update, I've got to film it, talk about it, then I've got to go and spend an hour or two editing just to put 10 minutes, you know, on a video, on an update. So if I do a live stream, to me is a lot easier to do.
KRP Models, that's right, Corey.
There we go.
Yeah, he's almost got 10,000 subscribers. Man, get him 10.
Yeah.
We'll get in there,
we're
guys.
Almost to the end of the show. That sucks.
I know, we had fun today, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, always have fun. Always have fun. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Let's see. Yeah, Wilmer, I learned from almost everyone. Big influences are how-to and layout tours to inspire to try to stuff you normally wouldn't do. Stuff that is not bad. There you go.
Not bad.
I agree. Not bad. Plus, you live next to the railroad tracks. That's even better. You can sit on your front porch and watch trains.
That's cool. That is cool.
That's really not bad.
I can't do that from here. I can hear them sometimes, and it's always at night, you know, but I think the closest train to me is 5 or 6 miles away. But when they come through at night, you can hear them.
Oh, I couldn't do it, Joe. 2-hour show. Ooh, too long.
This show 2 hours?
Yeah, Joel says we need to make our show 2 hours.
No, if we were going to do that, we'd do a beans.
Yeah.
Then we could do 2 hours because it would seem like an hour or 30 minutes.
We could barely. Yeah, we'd have a hard time filling 2 hours.
I think there's that mateship. The beauty about beans is you're not alone while you're sitting there modelling. You can talk to each other as you've got your head down and you're modelling something or building something, and
looking for your re-railer.
Talk to.
Or looking for your re-railer.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Looking for the re-railer. Always looking for the re-railer.
Steve mentioned that the other day to me that he lost his re-railer again.
Did you find it, Steve?
One of them.
He lost one of them again.
It's the one Shannon gave me, the yellow one. I cannot find
all the ones,
and I cleaned it, and I cleaned up the shop. I did Jerry's challenge, never did find it. I'm afraid I threw it out.
We're gonna have to make a necklace for it, man. Just put it a lanyard and put it around your neck.
I'm just gonna have to buy a case of them. Buy a case of them.
Oh.
You'll probably lose the case.
I thought you were going to fall out of your chair when I told you I lost it.
Oh, you did. I couldn't believe you. I can't believe you even told me that.
Hilarious.
I wasn't going to.
Because he knew I'd say it on here.
We're all human.
Oh, yeah, I should have worn the other shirt today.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's another hour, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we're at
fast.
the end of the show. Looks like.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks
good
for
to
sticking
see
around.
everybody again. Hope everybody made it through all the snow and cold weather that we had through the middle part of the country. I don't know if it got all the way to the East Coast or not. I don't usually watch. The weather after it gets past us, so I'm always looking out towards Steve's side of the country and looking for the new stuff coming in. But
all we got was rain, but you guys got hammered.
Oh, we did. It was the cold weather that was worse than the snow, I think. And Texas got it a lot worse than we did because they're not prepared for it. We're not really prepared for it here either, but we get more of it than they do. So it wasn't quite as bad here. Anyway, thanks for showing up, guys. And Allie,
sorry, Claude,
go get your cat.
Great show. I'm going to get Allison I'm just going to keep the bell, and if I want to talk, I'm going to ring the bell. I will just that'll work.
I used to have a Hungarian jiu-jitsu teacher, and every time he swore, he'd do this. He would slap himself on the mouth. I'm trying to say, to answer CJ7PSAP, we'll get on to Shannon because he's got the updates for us on where the travelling boxcar is, and we'll let you know in due course. I like that one, in due course. Other than that,
as soon as we find out where it is.
Have a good week, and we'll see you same time, same place next week, if not on a Beans or other channel. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
See you later.
Bye. Thank you.